But of course, the tool is all about source control. So what about source control? I will do this just in the client. I repeat one thing. The two things or the two repositories we support at the moment are Team Foundation Server and Visual Source Safe. What is heading up is Subversion. So okay, we've got our client here, and let's do some basic development. So like a normal developer, I would be using, of course, the object designer, and that's exactly what I'm using. So let me go to the customer table, and me as a developer, I'm wondering, okay, this modified flag is not on, so probably there are no changes. I can already check that by just selecting the line, go to revision here on the bottom, go to source control, and show me the history. And as you can see, indeed, it's quite a fresh object. There is nothing happened yet. But of course, I just added this database. So there is normal that nothing happened yet. So let me do something. I go into design. As you might have noticed, and I hope it came through correctly because I don't know how WebEx, how many times it refreshes, but there was a green square around the designer window. Green means okay, red means not okay. So you're quite sure now that in the background, revision checked out this object for you. That is actually the preference that you set here is the show checkout status on designer. So that is the green square. Now, it checked out. If you're still not sure, you can go to the log, and as you can see in the log, where you can find everything there, what revision is doing in the background, you see that table 18 was checked out. Okay, but this was all in the background. Me as a developer, I'm only seeing the green square. So let me go in development. I'm not going to make it too difficult on me. Just change some documentation trigger, and I'm exiting the object. Now, as I have set up the automatic check-in disabled, I disabled it, so it's not going to check in when I exit the object. I have to do that manually. Now, there is also a setting on the preferences which says, okay, show pending changes on object design. When you close the object design, it will show a window of all the things you haven't checked in yet. So let me do that. And here comes the check-in with a comment I can give and tables and just the objects I have checked out. So let me keep that a number, and I just changed the documentation trigger, and I will check that in. Of course, from now on, I've got a changed object and I've got a history. Oh, that's the wrong one, sorry. And as you can see, it automatically created a base version. So I didn't I didn't check in the base version. I didn't do a sync all, which might take some time, of course, to export all 4,000 or 5,000 objects into your repository. No, it's going to create you a base version automatically. You don't have to do that. So just to start with revision much quicker. And it created, I checked my checked-in version as well. Now from the history window, I can compare these. I can actually compare any two versions. And it opens my favorite compare window. So as you could see, the documentation trigger was actually the only thing I changed, and also, of course, the date, because my object changed. So from this window, I can conclude now as a developer, okay, this change was quite stupid, and I want to roll back my change. I want to go to my original object. So from this window, there you got another option, which is rollback. And if you click that, it's going to work a little bit. It's going to actually import the original text object, and it's going to import in the client, and it's also going to compile, if possible, that object for you. As you can see, my object changed, and it is already compiled as well. Now, if I go to the history, because I don't want to lose any history, you see a clear description. Okay, there is a version 3, but it was actually a rollback version of version 1. In this case, I just went back to the original state of the object. So it's going to, take that and create history. For the rest, it's just actually when you're doing development, and I'm just making this up as I speak. For instance, I want every object of the job queue. I want to work on the job queue, for instance, or any other filtered set here. I can select all these objects, and I can check them out. In the background, they are checking them out, because the fact that I have multiple objects at the moment, and I checked it out this way, I have no green square, but I can still check in the log which objects has been checked out, and as you can see, all the job queue objects have been checked out and are reserved now for me. If other people are now working on this database, they will get an error message if they want to design this object. So I can start working, and if I close, of course, my object designer, I get again my my pending changes, because of course I have checked them out. I don't want to forget to check them in, so let me go and add this, and I'm checking in. So basically, this is normal development behavior, but not normal in NAV, of course, because NAV, we haven't seen any possibilities in decent object or source control, and this is actually just normal source control on development in NAV. There was a last one that I would like to show you in my history table. If I want to compare this, for instance, on my current object, that's also possible. If I say here, okay, I have got a version here, but what is different with my current object in the table or in NAV, you can do that as well, and it's going to open you again your compare tool, and it's going to show you this. Now, when you do this, there is also a possibility to change your file. So when you save it, it's going to upload it into NAV again and compile it. So this way, my customer object was changed, but because I didn't take over the date and the modified flag with only documentation trigger, then also only the documentation trigger was changed here. That way you can merge pieces of development back into your current object. Now, this was basic source control, and I hope you agree with me that it's quite easy to use. It's all from the tray icon. In fact, it's all from accessible with hotkeys, and this, it doesn't really change much in development experience that all developers are already used to.